How the Psalms Give Comfort by Dingena Boudewijns, an abbreviated story read by her daughter. I grew up in the small town of Zwijndrecht, the Netherlands, where I was born, the second and youngest child in our family. My brother was quite a few years older than I. I was 5 years old when the Nazis invaded the Netherlands and the war started, and it lasted until I was 10. In the Netherlands, World War II lasted 5 years. German occupation started in 1945 when the Germans flew into our country and bombed the city of Rotterdam, a large city only 12 miles away from my home. I remember the planes flying very low over our home and town, and the sounds of bombs exploding. We could see the city burn from our home. From that day forward, fear was a constant companion of my everyday childhood life. Food was scarce and regulated. I remember well how the surviving people from Rotterdam would stagger down our road and beg for food. They walked to Zwijndrecht and farther towns in pursuit of something to eat. The images of those people stumbling along are strong imprints in my memory. I was hungry myself, and I remember how my mother was always in pursuit of food and feeding her little family. My father was not home during World War II, as he was in hiding. He was a very skilled carpenter and did not wish to be conscribed to work fabricating German weapons and other Nazi products. Thus he was in hiding somewhere, I don't know where, and I did not see him for years. One random day I came home and he was sitting at the kitchen table. However, I did not recognize him. I remember asking my mother, "Who is that man?" School was frightening. I attended a Christian elementary school. One particular teacher in either first or second grade, I don't remember exactly, favored me, but somehow I feared her immensely. Later it was revealed that she was NSB, Dutch National Socialist Movement, a group who sympathized and openly collaborated with the Germans during World War II and betrayed safeholds of those in hiding. I met her again at a mutual friend's home years later, when I was a young adult, and though she was friendly and talkative, my whole being froze. The school building was used as headquarters for the Germans. The Germans used it in the morning, and the school children were taught in the same classrooms in the afternoon. Regardless of the fact that the preacher's sermons were scary for a small child, I truly enjoyed going to church. It felt like a safe place where one could trust people. A lot of people in our Dutch Reformed Church were involved with the resistance movement, providing and finding safeholds for Jewish people and children. We sang the Psalms at church, and at school we memorized and recited a new psalm every week. To this day, the Psalms are deeply embedded in my memory. Attending church provided me with comfort during those scary times as a child, and the Psalms still do today. I still sing them to myself regularly, or they come to my memory as I ride my bicycle. Some of the lyrics to the songs have changed over the years. They've been modernized, but the melodies remain the same. I attended church twice every Sunday and sang many psalms there, for they were based on Scripture. The psalms have always been dear to me, as they were to my late husband. He grew up in a different Reformed church, but our deep love for the psalms was the same. Whenever a stressful time befell us in our lives, we could fall back on the psalms. I would recite and sing them to myself while traveling by bicycle. Sometimes just a few lines would come to me at random, which I refer to as shreds. My husband, who was a Dutch linguist, thought that was a beautiful term. His mother, my mother-in-law, often recited psalms from memory. Psalm 27 was one of her favorites. Psalm 27 vers 7. Zo ik niet had geloofd dat in dit leven mijn ziel Gods gunst en hulp genieten zou. Mijn God, waar was mijn hoop, mijn moed gebleven? Ik was vergaan in al mijn smart en rouw. Wacht op den Heer, Godvruchtige schaar. Houd moed, Hij is getrouw, de bron van alle goed. Zo daalt zijn kracht op u in zwakheid neer. Wacht dan, ja wacht, verlaat u op den Heer. Translation. Psalm 27 verse 7. If I had not believed that in this life my soul would enjoy God's favor and grace, my God, how would my hope, my courage have prevailed, as I was wrecked with all my grief and sorrow? Wait on the Lord, devoted sheep. Take heart. He is faithful, the source of all good. He descends his strength to you in weakness. Wait, yes, wait, and trust in the Lord. As a child, I received much strength and comfort from praying, and always wanted to, but I did not know that I could. No one had ever told me. I discovered that later, myself, in life. There's a statue in the Netherlands, which was made following World War II and given to the city of Rotterdam. The statue depicts a man, very large, reaching his hands upward to heaven. But where his heart should be, there's a big hole. When I first saw the statue, I was about 13 or 14 years old. Immediately it touched me deeply, even though at the time I did not know why, or that the statue represented the city of Rotterdam, whose heart had been bombed. I tell you about this encounter with the statue to illustrate that sometimes, because of war, where you never knew happiness or joy, only fear, hunger, and poverty, your other emotions are strengthened. I remember well a poem a young classmate of mine wrote down for me in my booklet. Wij zijn bij Jezus veilig. Hij bergt ons in zijn hut. Oh, I strict apart. Al suizen ook de bommen, al davert het geschut. Wij zijn bij Jezus veilig. Hij bergt ons in zijn hut. Translation: Though the bombs whiz, though the weapons boom, we are safe with Jesus, who keeps us in his shelter. Later in the life, the Psalms remained a source of comfort. For Dingena Boudewijns' full story, please refer to The Arm of the Lord. The Song of the Righteous is a prayer unto me.